Part 3, Chapter 9. Now we're going to cover LIFO and Dollar LIFO retail methods. So again, in estimating any inventory, this is used by retailers to value inventory, and again, it would be used if you use LIFO. Again, here is the description. This is what I showed you before. These are the types of transactions, and what coming up with an estimate for the inventory has to do with where you place all these items. So that's what I'm giving you as a format, so you can easily work through these problems. So in this part, we're going to cover LIFO retail method and the dollar value Lifo method. Now for retail, for LIFO, where compute the cost to retail ratio after markups and markdowns, the cost to retail ratio is only used for the layer of additional inventory for the current year, and we assume one layer. So here we go. This is how it works. If you notice, we do not start with beginning inventory, because what we do when we use the LIFO method for this one, what we're going to do is we are going to have two percentages. One is going to be based on the inventory we purchased during the period, and the other is going to be based on our beginning inventory. So again, with this method, you need two percentages. So we've got the beginning inventory ratio and the current period ratio. Now we're going to get our total cost of goods available for sale, including beginning inventory. We're then going to take away our net sales, our normal shortages, and employee discounts. And now we're going to estimate ending inventory by using the two different percentages. And we're going to add those up and deduct from total cost of goods available for sale, including beginning inventory, to get our estimated cost of goods sold. So now let's look at an actual problem. All right, here is an example. These are our price level indexes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go through them. So first we start with our transactions during the month, and that gives you your total cost available for sale during the month, and we're going to use that to come up with our layer percentage. Then we're going to do a percentage for our beginning inventory. And we're going to add all that up and get total cost of goods available for sale at cost and retail. We're then going to subtract out our sales and normal shortages. And now we're going to estimate our ending inventory. We're going to take our beginning inventory. And of course, you notice we get the same numbers. We're then going to subtract that from the 26,400 to figure out what the layer is for that addition during the month. And that is going to give you our value, estimated ending inventory value. And we subtract that to get our cost of goods sold. Now we're going to look at dollar value LIFO. The same as LIFO, except we're now going to use indexes, so you remember those. Once you determine the ending inventory at retail, divide the ending inventory at retail by the year-end index to get retail at base, and then you're going to come up with beginning inventory equals the layer added. To get ending inventory, you're going to have the two layers, beginning inventory plus the transaction during the period. So here we go. Here's the formula. Again, we're first going to get the beginning inventory percentage. Then we're going to get a percentage for the current period. Now we're going to estimate our ending inventory. We're going to have our base. and then we're going to use our index. Now remember, beginning inventory is always going to usually be 1, and it's the current period that we're going to have to use the index on. And that's going to give us our ending inventory, which we can deduct to get estimated cost of goods sold. Now let's take a look again at our problem. In this case, we have an index of 1.1. So now we're going to first come up with, we want to know what our layer was that was added during the period. So in this case, we added 700 at cost and 1,000 at retail. That's going to give us 70% as our current period retail percentage. And then we're going to come up with our percentage for our beginning inventory. Now we have our total cost of goods available for sale, including beginning inventory. We're going to subtract our net sales. And we're going to get our estimated ending inventory at retail, which is our 209. Now we're going to take the 209 and divide by 1.1, which equals 190, is the ending inventory at base retail. So now we're going to take our beginning inventory of 125 at retail times an index of 1 times our 64% interest, tells us that part of the inventory at cost is $80. And then we're going to take our layer, which is the difference between the 190 and the 125 times the 110 times 70%, and that gives us the cost for the layer, which gives you 130, and that gives you your estimated cost of goods sold. I would really like to know who comes up with this stuff. But needless to say, that's how you figure out dollar value LIFO. Good luck on that one.